This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Very good evening to all. I am C Thatchinamoorthy, Ph.D. Research Scholar, Department of Agriculture Extension, Faculty of Agriculture, Annamalai University.
Mr.
Today
Thatchinamoorthy,
I present the topic.
Mr. Thatchinamoorthy, please
Yes,
hold
sir.
on. Please wait for an announcement. Then you can start.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I am Rajni Jain on behalf of agricultureinformation.com. I would like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipathy, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajini. Good evening, everyone. I am Lakshmipathy. I'll be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Mr. C Thatchinamoorthy, a PhD scholar, research scholar and faculty of agriculture at Annamalai University, Chidambaram, Tamilnadu. Mr. Thatchinamoorthy will be speaking on the topic disaster risk reduction for sustainable food security in coastal areas for farmers and fishermen. I now request the speaker to begin.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, good evening to all. Once again, today I present the topic disaster risk reduction for sustainable food security in coastal area for farmers and fishermen. Agriculture and allied sector has been continues to be the most important sector in Indian economic. Tamilnadu is one of the southernmost state of the Indian peninsula, surrounded by Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. This is very entrepreneurial driven state, which is the own distinctive Tamil cultures has made remarkable social progress in recent years, reducing the malnutrition and poverty. Even though the 44% of the populations live in urban areas, highest rate among the large state. Even and also the agriculture and allied continues to be the most prevalent for the state economic, as more than 70% of the populations are engaged in agriculture and livestock, and also the allied sectors, and also the fishing for the livelihood. The coastline of Tamil Nadu has length for about 1076 kilometers, which account for the about 50% of the total coastal length of India, and stretches along the Bay of Bengal, Indian Oceans, and urban areas. So agriculture production is highly prone to the natural disaster and substantial part of the population, which rural states and union territories of the countries. So disaster play a heavy with the farmers' lives. One of the major repercussions that disaster have is on agriculture. Drought is a perennial features, and 16% of the Indian total area is drought prone, and approximately 50 million people are annually affected, damaged through disasters. So disaster of damage in agriculture. The every year natural disasters such as blood fires and earthquakes and torrential challenge of agriculture production, because agriculture relies on the weather and climate and water availability to thrive. This is easily impacted by the natural event and disasters. So affect agriculture quality and quantity of crops. In India, out of 36 state, the union territories, 29 are prone or different disasters. Among the 29 state, Tamil Nadu is to prone multi-hazard higher than other state of and it's frequent of hazard. So the some research would help you identifying the effect of cyclone, the flood, and drought disaster on agriculture in coastal areas. Become the increasing the important recently it has the vulnerability on agriculture in Tamil Nadu. The livestock damage. India has 70% of the livestock owned by 67% of small and marginal farmer and by landless laborers. The man-made disaster may not harm the animal directly, but may threaten in certain like pollution, the population increase the population, so need the industrialization or a destruction of the natural habitats. So disaster are not the same impact and consequence vary from region to region and from community to community. During the disaster, so during the disaster, the livestock will take time to recap. For example, the Kaja cyclone, according to the Indian Meteorological Department, Government of India, saw the cyclone storm named Gaja, the very severe cyclone storm. The Gaja originated from low pressure area, which formed overall Gulf of Thailand and adjacent Malaysia and Peninsula in the morning 18th November. Sorry, 8th November. The Tamilnadu Gaja Circle, this is the track, Gaja Circle track in Tamil Nadu. It crossed the Tamil Nadu and Puducherry coast between Nagapattinam and Vedaranyam near latitude and with a wind speed of 130 kilometers, gusting to 145 kilometers during the hours 16th November 2018. So we are take some survey. Most of in the cyclone affected area, most of the respondents they using the mobile phone to assess the mobile phones. So most of the respondents were male nearly 80%. This is mainly to the social culture which compels to the prioritize male respondent always the always than female respondent. About half of the respondent have been found the old age group. About 45% uh, have the 30% and 35 to 45 years, and 26% of the respondent belong to 35 years as well. As the most prevalent group of education levels, secondary level, nearly 43 percentage was about 33 percentage responded with primary educations. It could be the majority of respondent 56 percentage had agriculture as the primary occupations, and 40 percentage of the respondent primary occupation is fishing. The cyclone affected cyclone damaged uh, touch cows, tiled cows, paka cows, and cattle set for partially in touch cows fully damaged 23 more than 23 percentage fully damaged. In tiled cows fully damaged 16 percentage 16.6 percentage, partially damaged 13.33 percentage, and paka cows partially damaged 70 percentage. The cattle set fully damaged 26.66 percentage and partially damaged 13.33 percentage. Mostly Gaja cyclone damaged Tachi house, fully damaged more than 20 percentage. The tiger the house damage, the reason the flooding is the one of the major reason. More than 60 percentage the house damage, the reason is flooding and also the heavy rains. So next, more than 20 percentage the strong wind, one of the reasons, and very few some few percentage of tree fall damage the cows. Details about the crop damaged crops and in Tamil Nadu, paddy, banana, coconut, mango, cashew, the major crop the damage. The agriculture is the main occupation in this area. The major crops of coconut, paddy, groundnut, cashew, banana, and mango. Thousands of coconut trees are uprooted by winds. The begins the more number of in nuts and coconut trees is the main reason for uprooted of trees. In case of removal of branches and nuts may be save the trees, but a shortage of tree climbing labors and short time of yearly warning information is the main cases of falling the coconut trees. Only non-yielding coconut trees are serving in affected the field. Coconut trees are the main source of income for many families. Uprooted of trees and turns maybe their life is risk. The flooding of surface level to the unexpected, the kilometers away from the sea, cases of damage of other crops like groundnuts and rice, and also the consumption of waters in terms salty, and also the infrastructures, and like the livestock are mainly affected by the seawater near coastal site. More than 130 ports are, and many fishing nets were damaged by strong wind and rains. Casino fields are very near to the sea. In the additional case for damage of fishing net in these regions. The yearly warning systems. The people received yearly warning informations. They received information 3 days before. More than 76.61 percentage of their people received the information 3 days before. Some of the people one day before they receive the informations through the television, newspaper, mobile app, and also the fisherman mobile app alert. The local peoples are announced the for example policemen also the uh, giving the awareness. So mode of receiving yearly information through the government officials and friends and networks, mobile applications, social media, through SMS, radio, television, and also the newspaper. Majority of the peoples receive the information through through the television, and also the friends, networks, and the government officials. So very some of the peoples also they receive information through mobile applications. For example, TN Smart app and Wind app. Some people's receiving information through social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. Some people's more than 50% of people receive information SMS through the registered farmer, registered fisherman receive the mostly the registered farmer and registered fisherman receive the information through the SMS. So the kind of early warning informations based on the cyclone track and cyclone position and moving cyclone direction and cyclone speed per hour and landfall location and date and time of landfall and wind speed. More than 10 more than 20 percentage of the people's receive the information based on the cyclone position and moving the cyclone directions. Same the 20 percentage of people's receiving the cyclone speed also, and also 20 percentage of the people received wind speed where per hour speed of kilometer per hour, and all the 10 percentage of people they receive the information cyclone track. And believing and understanding yearly warning information, lot of informations shared through government or government officials, and also the non-government organizations also the sharing the yearly warning informations. But people's believing some percentage. Sometimes people believe more than 60 percentage believe the informations. So people rarely play people plow people believe 30 percentage. Never people believe some of the people not believe the early morning informations, and also the understanding the information. So we they are they receive the early morning information, but understand the local language. So mostly more than 60 percentage of people sometime understanding the early warning information, and more than 20 percentage of people rarely believe the rarely understand the informations. For reason for people not believing the informations. So mostly majority more than 40 percentage of the people never experience such a cyclone and hence not able to understand impact. People uh, not own not experience and also the understand the impact. What are what are the damage do the cyclones? So that is the one of the reasons. And also the 13% of the people's not believing the impact associated with the wind speed not clear. For example, when tree would fall down and when hours will be the following other following, but the speed not clear the not clear giving the early warning informations. And 10% of the peoples not believe early warning informations. The reason due to the reason impact associated with storm and surge not clears. And also the 7% of the people not believing the early one information, the impact associated with rainfall, impact on flooding and agriculture damage and also the fishing the damage is the one of the reason for people not believing the early morning informations. Impact for fishermen on farmer due to the cyclone. The monsoon season, fishermen suffer the greater loss than unpredictable non-monsoon season. The damage and destruction of houses and immovable infrastructure through the people. But the damage, the gusty wind has heavy damage in agriculture field. So the uprooting of trees and the electronic bolts, but also the cattle set, goat set, car set are affected during the landfall of the cyclone. That leaded into the migration of the people to the relief center. The tsunami house play a vital role at the time of the storm and rain. People stay at rooftops of the houses to escape from flooding of sea waters. The livestock damage, the loss of agricultural damage, the loss of agricultural production, loss of livestock, coastal cultivatable land are not being utilized for crop productions. So mostly due to the soil sanitary, loss of biodiversity. So the livestock damage, the combining this furious divesting the strong wind or territorial rain and elevation of the sea surface above normal levels lead to the death of the many cattle and goats. The owning the unexpected speed of wind, people did not untied up roofs of the livestock. This is also the added the additional reason to the loss of livestock lives. And also the loss of boat, loss of net, fishing net, and engine damage, boat engine damage, damage to the infrastructure, road, water bodies, store, etc., and spread of disease and some petty shops, store, and grain storage. So the agriculture damage, agriculture is the main occupation in this area. So that fearing the more number of nuts coconut trees is the main reason for uprooted of trees. In case removal of branches and nuts may save the tree, but shortage uh, trees the climbing the labors one of the reason. So the infrastructure and livestock are mainly affected by seawater near the coastal side, more near the coastal side. But people mostly trusted early morning informations announced by some local people. For example, in Vedaranyam and Vedaran area, Mr. Selva Kumar, the teacher and meteorological investigation, who has the tie-up with NAMS Ulavan app through mobile app. So people believe that that information. Disaster risk management, early warning information. Early warning information has received before 3 to 4 days WhatsApp and mobile television announcement made by the policeman inside mic to the ensure the uninterpreted and the dissemination of informations of the cyclone of if other communication tools fails. So Alter had the issue along the coastal area asking people residing the low lying areas and its touch goes to move the cyclone shelter. So the fishermen from those already in deep sea had asked to return, but percentage of belief toward the informations in less. So, what is the early warning systems? Early warning systems are integral component of disaster management process. And on extension of weather forecast science, it aims to provide the household communities with information on relevant variables like rainfall, wind speed, and temperatures, and also the track the cyclone. So disaster management has presently evolved the information and communication technology approach that focus on systematic prevention, the analysis of dissemination of likely event to the structure informed application of resource in time. So the damage of cyclone, so powerful the roof shed of many houses were damaged. Beside in this cattle shed, goat shed, it affected the uprooted of trees and the electric poles, damaged infrastructure, restricted transport by road, and also the so the many livestock has been died by strong wind. Wind is the main hazards of the damaged in the particular districts. So the majority and also majority of the farmers with a small holding have lost at least more than 1,000 trees, like other coconut trees also the treated by as a child farmers. This is the massive conversion of to crops, like coconut happened about 30 years ago was following the south the drought. The advantage with the coconut trees was lesser water consumption and maintenance compared to the other crops. But this cyclone was devastating. A farmer will have a wait for 4 to 7 years now to restore his coconut farms. Not only the coconut trees, many horticulture crops like mango, moringa, banana field also the damaged. And there the Makal channel has covered this Malarumbumi programs to cover the all the damaged in some place of the districts, and coconut trees replacement have been done. So the trees within 30 years are eligible for replacement. In the replacement fields, a farmer looking for regenerations. So the cyclones with wind speed of up to 180 kilometers hit coastals. So the wind speed one of the main reason to damage the agriculture and livestock. The early morning information spread of TV, radio, mobile, and announcement. Uh, so this all the way a lack of understanding of the uncertainty of estimate lead people to interpret the prediction as wrong, to the believe that estimate could not longer be trusted. So that's one of the reason for people not believe the yearly money informations. And damage, overall damage, Tanjavur district, it was the surrounding areas are very badly hit. The cyclone has gassed the south the damage to across of coconut farmers, banana plantation, lacks of coconut trees, and the plantation were completely damaged, and acres of paddy crop, mango, citrus, groundnut have also the seriously affected. The strong wind during cyclone have uprooted thousands of electric poles, also one of the reasons. And also the drinking water, milk is not available, and cyclone affected area are facing the acute the shortage of drinking water. So cyclone storms have destroyed completely the fishing port of fishermen after having experienced the heavy destruction of infrastructure and houses, many of the peoples were migrated to relief centers. So the people say that is the worst ever cyclone storm that they have been seen the last 15 years. Several forts and fishing nets have been damaged beyond the repair due to the cyclone. Overall, farmers and fishermen have lost their livelihood completely due to the Gaja cyclone, and their situation right now cannot be expressed in words. So, some of mobile apps are available for the disaster preparedness and responses. American Red Cross app, and also disaster alert app, global emergency overview app, and federal emergency management agency app, and humanitarian kiosk app also available based on the disaster information. In Tamil Nadu, TN Smart app also available. This app, the mobile application will alert users even if the phones are in silent mode. The beep sound will continue to notify until it is the turn off by the receiver. The TN Smart app would assist in forecast analysis and risk mapping assessment, and act as a data management system for managing and processing weather, disaster risk, and emergency response resource data also available, and regional English and regional language. Recommendation for assessing the livelihood of survival of forestly affected trees such as coconut, mango, and other crops, and also the advice on what kind of care needs to be taken to save the affected tree crops. The promoting intercropping of multiple crops in the tree crop plantation area to increase the income of the farmers taken to the save affected tree crops. In many cases, the livestock as cow, goats, and are keep it under trees. There are at least one livestock set and chicken coop in every household. The planting trees, especially palm, against the path of wind, act as the pre-disaster barrier against strong wind flowing. Uh, we are visited the cyclone affected area, thoroughly rapid assessment of the ground situation in the cyclone affected districts. Farmer and fishermen meted with about discuss and also the group discussion. The some of the suggestions farmers and fishermen said to the agricultures, based on the agricultures, the removal of palm trees and assessing the livelihood of surveil partially affected trees such as coconut, mango, and other crops, and the supply of good quality tree crops to farmers and livestock holders, providing solar pump, drip irrigation, and a sprinkler for irrigating vegetable crops for cultivating vegetable crops. Continuous advisories from agriculture expert. People experting uh, agriculture expert give the agriculture advisories information, and also the livestock recovery informations. Then promoting intercropping of multiple crops in tree crops are planting areas to increase the income of the farmers. So farmer export the integrated farming systems and intercropping systems, and fishermen expert removal of marine settlement that how they ended to the storm struck from fishing hamlet, removal of nets that were tossed away into the bushes, and few the marine segment, repair of boat and boat engine, and replacing the casino plantation with other crops because more fishing net damage due to the casino trees. So then only the planting trees, palms against the path wind act as the pre-disaster barrier against the strong wind and blattings. They establishing a large permanent nursery for common native shade trees such as the banyan trees. So through based on the livestock, the measure to control livestock disease, and also the providing green leaf and other border for livestock, and the recommendation for livestock in many cases the in many cases livestock as cow and goat are keep under the trees. There are at least one livestock and one livestock set and chicken coop in every household. This structure livestock shed stand a bamboo bowls having a straw roof over it. The shed heaping cow and goat can be the strengthened by cross branching the bamboo poles of standing on the corners. The roof can be having cross branching. This cross branching will make them work as the rich structure with stand stones. So the planting trees, especially palm against path, and also the planting trees parallel to house with the appropriate distance away from building is also the act as a natural barrier to reduce the damage. And converting overhead power cable, understand the power cable, it may be preventing electricity problems and uprooting the of electric bolts. And insurance coverage for livestock and fishing materials is highly essential, and creating of water drainage systems that reducing the flooding. The setting of permanent evacuation setter and storage godown will reduce the damage of agriculture products. So early warning systems related to the public awareness, government advice to has been employees who are likely to become linked with the community. Their values and goals should be concurrent with the community values and goals toward the disaster management. So early warning systems, highest it is the increase the local knowledge about the rainfall, topography, and risk, disaster risk, vulnerability, as well as other silence to understand the approaching risk. Early warning systems due to the rising the awareness and establishing training is a high priority. In case of emergency and the SMS is not working, early warning systems made use of satellite informations. Then online informations will be updating, will be reaching by people using volunteers and part-time employees with communities will be at watch. These are the further information and assigned to the can inform to the locals and local announcement about the dangers. So most of the social psychologists believe that social pressure can affect behavior of individual than the formal policies formulated by the government. Therefore, the early warning systems may take action in developing informal means such as the socializations process in which community members of the municipality can learn behaviors that are acceptable by other members with the community within the community. This would boost the disaster control and management level to the community. So people in cyclone affected area have understood the early warning information due to the tsunami attack, but awareness towards the using technology is required. So many people in this region using the smartphone. So today everyone using the mobile phone, so mobile apps. So smartphone and awareness app, but still lack of knowledge in usage of app in president to government should recommend to the correct app, and awareness training should be given in the methodology in using such awareness app, because the lot of mobile app available based on the cyclone or disaster or wind, etc. So another one, GPS sensor based news improved app should be developed with a simple and easy handling methodology, such as awareness of not only announce the position of nature of the cyclone, but also impact of cyclone to the announce for better understanding to the rural peoples. So people in generally only understand SMS and sign warning. people need to learn about the whole cycle, what is included in the news. Without all stages, they are not able to receive the warning message. So GPS based SMS alert and voice call, and also the voice call alert app should be designed for better awareness. So setting up information center and security center is very essential in cyclone affecting the place. The current trend is to develop management option tailored to the local needs and capacity with an equation between the local authorities, private sector, communities, and many programs in disaster management around the world, the public-private partnerships. Another one, the lack of community people involvement in post cyclone period. So both government and non-government organization should promote the local people to cooperate and engage responsibly for reducing the potential threat threat of the cyclone that is the might arise on their livelihoods. So while investment in the cyclone forecasting warning systems may be required, it does not necessarily mean that is the coverage of such as the process will be constant across the areas and will provide the information to the targeted population and uniformly. So the public awareness programs along with the trust building through external organization and strengthen the early warning information systems which should be incorporated within the institutional structures. So general recommendation, assessing the livelihood of several forestly affected trees such as coconut, mango and other crops, advise the what kind of care need to be taken, save the affected area, and promoting intercrops intercrops the trees plantation to increase the increase income of farmer taken in the save affected the tree crops. In many cases the livestock and cows and goat or keep it under the trees. There are the at least one livestock state and chicken coop in every household. So the planting trees, especially palms against path wind, act as the pre-disaster barrier against strong wind and flooding. So information based on the location and user specific forecast, impact of forecasting and forecast based early action, streamlining and strengthening forecast based on risk communication and building community awareness. So I conclude my this presentation. Human vulnerability to disaster in an age-old phenomena. The disaster play a heavy with the farmers' lives. One of the major repercussions that disaster have is on agriculture. So a substantial part of population depend on agriculture for the livelihood. Agriculture activities is adversely affected by any unforeseen the weather changes. Weather changes are a variation of a physical condition. This gets the accentuated in case of cyclones, flood, and drought, resulting in destruction of the people, livestock, and adding the risk damage and stress of disaster. Drought is a perennial features. The 16% of the India total area drought prone and approximately 50 million people uh, are annually affected by drought. Flood losses to the best disease, wild animals, insect and weed and considerable. About 35% of world crop production is lost in spite of pesticide in control programs. So the disaster management has presently evolved the information and communication technology approaches that focus on system abbreviation, their analysis and designations for likely event to the structure informed application of resource in time. So mobile apps can help a greater dealing and planning implementation of hazard reduction and measures. It is necessary to create awareness among the public as well as the decision maker, allocating the resource for appropriate investment in mobile technology. Tamilnadu government and non-government organization is promoting through usage of mobile application to enhance disaster risk reduction and disaster risk management in the form. Still, it is not feasible to completely avoid the natural disaster, but the suffering can be minimized by creating the proper awareness of the likely disaster and its impact by emergency suitable warning systems. So disaster preparedness and management of mobile through mobile phone technology. Uh, this is the field survey photo. So thank you. I have through a full publication report. If you need ask to organizer, I will send full report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Thatchinamoorthy, for a very
Yes,
good
sir.
talk. I now request the participants to ask their questions, if there are any. We will also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window. Now over to the participants for the questions. Yes, the first question coming up from, who would like to ask the first question? Mr. Paramati is interested. Yes, Mr. Madi.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Dakshinamurthy, it's a nice presentation, but it's only generalized. You know, in order
Sir, sir, your voice is breaking.
yes. See,
Mr. Madi, you are not clear. Your
I
voice is not clear.
want to have a solution for this. I, I'm from Kannur only. So, what are the coastal area? See, now, clear? Hello?
Please go
Sir,
on.
your voice is
Hello?
breaking.
Please,
Sorry, I will call you.
Mr.
I will
Madi,
call
please
you
let me
person.
listen. I will see whether it is clear or
If
not. Please, please
say,
repeat your
I'm from Kannur area only. We have statistics about. Hello. Is it audible now?
yes. Please ask
No?
her. Only then we will know
Is it
whether it
audible?
is audible or not. Please continue to ask your
Okay,
question.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Say, do you have any historical data from for past 20 or 15 years that Kannur coast area from Nagapattinam to Pondicherry, how frequent the flood or the cyclone coming? It's increasing. The frequency is increasing or reducing?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Datchinamurthy, you are not clear about the question. Have you understood the
Sir,
question, Mr. Datchinamurthy?
yes, sir, yes, sir. But not here. Voice not clear, sir.
Mr. Madi, please repeat once more.
Okay. Say, you are doing the disaster management research on this coastal area. I want you should have some historical data. So for the past 15 or 20 years, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Say take from Nagapattinam to Pondicherry. There's a very cyclone prone area, flooded cyclone prone area. Every 5 years, there's some flood or cyclone will come. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So now the frequency every 5 years once before came, now every 4 years cyclone started coming. Now it's going to be climate change. Due to climate change, every 3 years cyclone will come like that. Do you have any graphical representation or evidence that the frequency has been very quick now, so that every alternate years maybe cyclone or a flood will come in the coastal area?
Yes, sir. We have collected 2019 data. So I here I have we have published the one book disaster from the lesson from cyclone. Sir, if you need, please contact my mail. I will send the information for you, sir.
Sure, thank you, sir. Thank you. I will do it, sir. So one more thing, say it's
Yes, sir.
a particular question to agriculture. So I am planning to. I am doing agriculture. I am planning to have
Okay,
poly
sir.
house in coastal area. My land is away from 3 kilometers away from the seashore in Kannur, near Oti. You know the place,
Yes,
Kannur
sir.
Oti, Old Town. Sir, do you know the place, Kadalur, Old Town, Kadalur?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, say
Sir,
whether is it recommended to have a poly house in this area or not to go for that? Because when I approached the agriculture department, they're telling that it's a cyclone area, we don't advise poly house or shed for crop growth, vegetable.
sir, polygons here available, but not successful to the farmer. The continuously farmer not cultivated to the through the polygons, sir, because polygons also the damaged through the
No,
disaster time. So people 1 or 2 years
cyclone,
to
Not
maintain
advisable.
the
wind,
polygons, sir.
not advisable in coast area. That's what I want to know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, the life will short. Huh? It's not advisable.
Yes, sir. Not
That is
yes,
what
sir.
it says, Mr. Madhi. Mr. Madhi says, Mr. Thatchinamoorthy says it is not advisable to have a poly house in the coastal area. That's what he says.
Yes, sir. It is
Correct,
not.
no,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Thank,
Thatchinamoorthy?
Yes, sir. Correct,
thank
sir.
you. I'll speak to him personally. Sir. I got a phone number. I will contact him personally. No problem.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I like to thank the speaker, Mr. Thatchinamoorthy, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.